Cancel the service? You bet. I work in roadside assistance as a third party for a lot of insurance companies. Like most customer service jobs, we get a heck of a lot of abuse. But the most of it comes from long wait times and/or not being fully covered. This happens often, but I very rarely am in the position where I get to see the fallout. Recently I had a woman call in. She was completely pleasant but in a huge rush, so she was a little snippy. No worries, I get it. But then it comes to letting her know that she is not covered for assistance and she has a huge out-of-pocket expense. She whines about the fact that he knows she has roadside, then that she supposedly set up the service earlier, so not only am I trying to charge her, but it's taking too long, and therefore the price should be waived. Finally she gives up and tells me I'm useless and says, "Just cancel it," and hangs up. Being the good representative that I am, I call her back to confirm the disconnect was intentional. She picks up, then hangs up immediately, then sends me to voicemail on follow-up calls. So as instructed, I canceled the job request. I should note intake doesn't take long, but it's annoying to go over and if the customer doesn't know their exact location, like being on a freeway, it can take some time. A few hours later I get a new call from an angry customer wondering where her service is at. I apologize for the frustration, ask for her reference number and inform her that unfortunately there isn't any service in the system. She starts going off. I do my best to calm her down and extract the needed information. Halfway through the call I realize it's the same angry pantswoman as before. When we start going over location, I remember the drop-off location and she gets excited and says, "Oh, you found my service? Is the driver on the way? It's ridiculous that it's taking this long. You should get this prioritized or expedited." To which I reply in my nicest CSR voice, "No ma'am. Your service isn't in the system. I remember when we spoke earlier. As you requested, I canceled the job at that time, so it is only getting opened now and the amount will be X. Her, that's more than it was earlier. Me, yes, the pricing changes throughout the day to continuously match the market, stay competitive, and incentive drivers to continue taking jobs at unpopular times. Her, silent. Me, also, we have longer ADAs at this time, so you will want to get this payment taken care of ASAP, so we can find a service provider to avoid a longer wait. I can send a text message to you to complete payment." Her, stutters. But I never told you to cancel it before." Me, starting to lose patience. "Ma'am, our calls are recorded." I notate obsessively. "And I called you back multiple times trying to confirm." Her, "I want to speak to your supervisor." Ranting to make me scared. Me, "No problem. One moment. It looks like there is currently a 20-minute wait for a supervisor. I'm happy to wait with you." Her, "Fine, get my service started." Me, "Certainly, I'll send the text for payment." She finally broke down and paid it and gave up waiting for a supervisor. She swore up and down that she was going to report me. Either way, I felt vindicated with my tiny bit of malicious compliance. "I'm happy to wait with you." That would be awesome. Both of you sitting on the phone hating each other and saying nothing while waiting for the supervisor to enter the fray and get completely blindsided by the fury that has already erupted. I work technical support for a telecom. The most magic words I can hear are, "Cancel my services," so I just okay, I will transfer you to that department. It is not on my to try to convince them not to cancel, and it gets them off my phone. Happy to wait. "So how's your day going?" I don't know where you find the patience for people like this. Helpful CS reps like you are solid gold. I work in a bank and there are some things we have no control over. Interest rates, the terms and conditions they signed for, our bank transfer limits. I absolutely love it when customers get angry and say, "Fine. I'll just close all my accounts then. Sure, I can do that. Is a check okay? Quote, they immediately start backtracking as I'm typing away on the computer, knowing full well it was an empty threat lol. OMG, this post unlocked some triggering memories. Used to work call center for roadside service as well. I literally had to walk off the job for my own mental health. It just astounds me how bloody rude people are on the other line. It's like I know you would not talk to me like that to my face. Ah, this is awesome. I used to love doing similar to PPL when I worked warranties. PPL had no idea the power I had. I could be an ally or their worst enemy. I recently had a tire flatten on a freeway in DC Beltway area on Christmas Day. The service was polite. We did wait hours. And had they told me, we can't see you have this service, I would have paid and fought with the insurance company later. Our safety was more important. And the tow drivers too. I was warned we might be towed to a safer location to change the tire. Fine with me. How dare you do exactly what I ask you to? Question mark, question mark. I love my CAA because every single time they've saved my butt and my car. I'm always happy to see them and never complain about the wait time. How does a third-party service work? Is there a minimum standard on who can respond? Are there equipment requirements? Background for my question. I have USAA for roadside assistance. A few years ago, my Jeep had a flat on the DC Beltway while pulling a trailer with 2 motorcycles on it. I told dispatch about the trailer, the height of my Jeep, and that my jack was broken. After waiting 45 minutes, an older Honda Accord pulled up behind me. It was a third-party provider, and he wanted to use his Honda's jack on my rig. Incredulously, I watched him try to lift the rear axle, but his jack could only barely make contact with the axle. After realizing it was futile, he asked me to sign off on the service so he could go on his way. Seeing as I'm still stranded on the side of the road with a flat, I refused. He argued for a bit, then drove off. When I called back to USAA, they had a record of my tire being changed. I told them what happened and they luckily were able to get me another provider. Dude showed up in a Honda Civic and I thought we were going to go through the rounds again. However, this guy had a fully equipped truck with a massive floor, jack and battery-operated impact wrench. He took care of me in less than 10 minutes, as happy as could be. Yes. I don't know why she fought roadside so hard. Like, honestly, give me your 2+ hour wait, it's not disappearing. Tangent. If Op, or another person in this field, wouldn't mind answering. I recently called roadside assistance and thought I had everything set up. 2,030 minutes later I get a call saying they couldn't find anybody to tow me. Why was I told it's good to go and the call finished if apparently a service provider hadn't been found yet? Or is it more likely that the one they did find cancelled once they saw the location or didn't want to deal with the weather? Nice. You got your pound of flesh. Money. From a Karen. Hopefully she learned from that expensive lesson. Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, this is gold. Going to report me? Okay, we should have you some assistance in about 0.12 hours. Enjoy setting beside the highway. That'll teach her to act like a roadman. That isn't even MC. She explicitly told you to cancel the request. How was she surprised that you canceled it? Where's the MC? You did what she asked. Assuming your telling of what she did was accurate and not exaggerated. I assume it's accurate. That after the fact she didn't mean it, or forgot, or spoke out of anger, doesn't make what you Did MC?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.